Hey guys, this is Ryan Melvin with ArizonaShortSaleBlog.com, joined as always by Adam Lee and Daryl Lund. We're excited about this. We just want to have an open discussion on what's going on with short sales, and a couple of the topics we want to cover will be issues that we're seeing in the industry up to today. Why do a short sale versus throwing your keys on the counter and just walking away and letting it go to foreclosure? And do banks really pay our commissions? That's one of the biggest questions that we get on our team is, do they really pay the commissions? I mean, a listing of 6% is usually what we list at. It could be less, but it could be more. But our average is about 6%, and that could be a lot of money when it comes to somebody that doesn't have any money. Because usually, when you're short sale, you're upside down, and you may not have enough to cover the 6%.
No, absolutely.
So let's talk about some issues that we're seeing. Daryl, what do you think?
Well, right now, one thing that I'm seeing a lot with my team is the banks are asking for a cash settlement or a promissory note to actually approve the short sale. And what we found is that's just kind of a negotiating tactic.
Sure.
Oh, absolutely.
The banks are trying to minimize their loss, and of course they're going to ask for something. Now, let me ask you, Adam, what's your response on that? Do you usually have your clients have to pay out of pocket?
No. Like you said, it's just a negotiation tool. For me personally, when I hear that, great. That just means I'm going to go over that negotiator's head. Because normally it's the negotiators. Very rarely do you ever have something like that when you're talking to a VP or a senior vice president or a different executive at the bank. When push comes to shove, they care about one thing. Are we going to have a savings over foreclosure? Are we going to have less of a loss doing a short sale than we would on a foreclosure? And 99.9999% of the time, they absolutely will, unless the offer is too low. Then yes, they're going to.
And that leads me into another thing: offers that are too low.
Yeah.
Let's just use easy numbers. Let's say we have a home that market value is $100,000. How often do you guys get, even on the buyer side, that okay, the home is listed for $100, I'm going to offer them $50,000 because I heard in the newspaper that the banks are hurting, and why not take $50,000? Better than nothing, right?
I had one this morning. I got an email from an agent who said, this is a house out in Queen Creek. It's a smaller home, and we have it on the market at $69. So it's not a huge.
What's it worth, do you think? I mean, if you had listed
I always list it right at market value.
Yep.
And what I'll do is I'll slowly march it down, and that shows the bank that we didn't just have a straw offer. That's what I call them, is a straw offer. Not a fake offer, but this ridiculously low offer,
Sure.
which doesn't get you anywhere. I mean, you get someone who, this agent, for example, wanted to put in $50,000. So there's almost a $20,000 difference. And yeah, if it was a $300,000 house, a $20,000 difference, you got a different spread there.
Yeah.
On a $69,000 house, there's no way the bank is going to
way.
accept that. And so there's no real point in submitting something like that, although some agents do.
And my response, a lot of time when we get buyers that ask that, it's kind of, it's probably not the best answer, but I tell them if that was the case, I probably wouldn't be selling you real estate. I'd be competing with you and buying real estate.
Yeah.
Because that's a great deal. If they're listed at 100, I can come in and get them for 50 and maybe clean it up a little bit and sell it for 75.
Right.
I got a real legitimate business.
No bank is selling
No.
a short sale or an REO at 50 cents on the dollar.
Now,
they just won't.
they ask us, how do they know how much the home is worth? The bank is over in New York, let's say. They don't know anything about Arizona. What do they do?
Well, there's a couple things they do. You'll hear the term a lot in short sales, a BPO, which stands for Broker's Price Opinion. And basically what they'll do is they'll have a independent agent come out and essentially do a mini appraisal on it.
Yep.
And
Sometimes
that's
more
how they
than
get
one.
their value.
We actually push for that. I mean, if we don't get the value that we're looking for in 1, 2, or 3, we'll keep going until we get somebody. Now, a big issue that I see, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, the bank is sometimes sending over an agent who may specialize in the West Valley.
Yep.
They may know surprise like you don't believe, but then they send them over to Tempe, which Tempe and surprise are two different things. So that's one of the issues I see. We get a BPO and they just ran some comps off the internet and did a 1 mile radius, and here's the price. But did they go in and they look at the neighborhood and how you could take a left-hand turn in Chandler and be in a completely different neighborhood as if you would have taken the right-hand turn?
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
No, absolutely.
Yeah, sometimes you take different builders and there's a big difference in quality between an entry-level builder versus a high-end builder, and you know, those two subdivisions may just be really a stone throws apart, and you know, it could really screw with the comps. So you know, we as an industry probably need to communicate better with the BPO agents and make sure they understand what are they appraising, and you know,
That's a good point.
let's get it close and, you know, save the bank money, save the homeowners from foreclosure, and you know, let everybody move on with their lives and start the recovery process.
I call it influencing the BPO.
And
I
you try
it
to do
all
that
the time.
before, because I require them to call me to see the home. Once we have a contract, I put in the plano to call me to see the home.
Yep.
And so when we get the call from the BPO agent, we're not gonna lead them down the road to the price. Obviously, we feel comfortable.
I
with
try
the price. You try to, and maybe I will
Yeah.
too. But we feel comfortable with the price that we've delivered to the bank.
Right.
We wouldn't have done that if we don't feel that
Yep.
that is a legitimate offer that has a chance of closing. Now, we have somebody that comes in and says, now the home is worth 20% more, 25% more. I'm gonna question that BPO agent because
Mhm.
I'm from this area. I do my homework, and
And you had the right pricing strategy.
Yeah, I
You know,
mean,
for me, I know my pricing strategy. That pricing strategy alone has gotten me, it's allowed me to dispute a BPO and win the dispute. You can absolutely.
let's talk about the pricing strategy. We have a home that's worth 100,
Mm-hmm.
and what will you do? Let's say you get the listing today. What is it going on the MLS at?
It's going at market value.
Okay, so
I will
$100,000.
absolutely do it. If we're really close to a trustee sales date, which everyone calls a foreclosure date, I may do it slightly under,
Yep.
but nothing substantial
Okay.
because there's no point. And what I'll do is every 2 weeks, I lower it down by, if it depends on the size of the home and the price of the home.
Sure.
But there's a steady price reduction every 2 weeks, which
Yep.
proves to the bank that, look, we tried to
We
do
try to
this.
get you the 100. We try to get
Yep.
you 95, and we got to bite at 85. So that tells us that's what market value on this home is.
Yep.
It's not what the bank says, because
Yeah.
what are banks in the business to do?
Well,
They're-
they're trying
They're
to.
lending money, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
right.
that what they
They're
do? Are they
lending.
in real estate?
No,
I mean,
heck no. And they don't want to be. You talk to any VP level, they don't want to. They don't
No.
want an REO on their books.
Of course
It's
not.
horrible for them. That's money they can't lend.
Well, cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was our weekly roundtable. We're going to have a new video every week on the three of us just discussing what's going on. And do you guys want to leave them with anything? Or
I would love to leave you with one thing: is if you're considering a short sale, do not bury your head in the sand.
No.
How
Come
many
talk to
times
us.
it happens that information is free. I
Yeah.
mean, talk to us, contact us, let us know your specific situation so we can help.
For sure. All right, guys. That's it.
All right.
That's it.
Perfect.